So everyone have a story to tell. No matter how old you are, you have something to say. You have sad moments, you have exciting moments, you have joyful moments. And when you tell the next person, you discover that you're a better person. So today we're going to focus on things you've done before that you are not excited about. That after doing it, you feel so sad. You have regrets. So I want to share regrets. With me in the studio is Mrs. Ifanseni Ijere. Can I pronounce that first name right? Because we call it fancy. I think I like the fancy. That's why I don't bite my tongue. So I can just say Mrs. Fancy Ijere. But the right name is Ifanseni. Ifanseni. I'm sure people will find it difficult to pronounce it. That's why we'll just start it fancy, okay? So, Ma, you're welcome. Thank you. You look so beautiful. Oh, wow. I like the... is it eye contact? How do you call it now?
Contact lens.
Contact lens. Wow. I'm going to fix mine. Yes. I'm sure I'm going to look cute if you have it.
These are wearing your glasses. Just easy.
Yeah. The blue one will do good.
Yes, I have the blue too.
Wow. So you're welcome. Okay. So I don't know. Should I start with you, or I start with Mr. Olatunji? Is that the name?
Yes.
Okay, so no, he has to come.
You can start then.
Okay, Mr. Olatunji wants us to start with the story, and next week you appear in person. So is that the correct name? Am I correct with the name?
Yes.
Okay. Can I read his message out? Thank you. Mr. Olatunji sent me a message 2 days ago, and this is fancy. Prepare what you will say. You should tell us. I'm sure there are things you have done and you regretted doing it. Okay, let's start with you.
You know what comes to mind is our waiting period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was one young girl that got married, and they have children with like
Wow.
with like 6 years, and I always say to myself, when given the opportunity, I will tell singles that are waiting, I will tell married people that are waiting for the fruit of the womb, use that time to develop yourself. Don't stay idle. That was the time of my life I should have done my PhD, moved on with my life, but I was stuck.
Waiting for children.
Waiting for children, not developing myself, just there. And I'm like, wow, and when the children now came, it was difficult to move on with myself because number one, I've been stuck for a long period of time, 6 years, not doing anything, just waiting for children. Then other responsibilities came down, so more money for this and more money for that. But that period of your waiting, that period when you are single, that period when you are waiting for the fruit of the womb, move on with your life. It will catch up with you. What you are waiting for will catch up with you. It will always come, I say, it will catch up with you. But keep living, keep moving, don't shut down. That's one of my biggest regrets.
Oh, I think this is good. Wow. One of your biggest regrets. Self-development. Rather than developing yourself, you were busy, stopped, and busy, probably praying, complaining, doing all both together, complaining,
Unhappy,
frustrated, depressed, and
asking
questions, moving from one place to the other, looking for solutions. How many years was that?
6 years.
Oh my God. And that 6 years would have added a lot to your life. Alright, so we learned something from our guests today, and I'm sure we're going to learn more. Self-development. And I tell people, one of the major problems in relationship today is because one partner probably developing itself and the other partner waiting.
That's right.
And then you discover one day, you just wake up and discover that you're not compatible.
One is bonded.
One is gone far, and when you started, you were compatible. But suddenly, something went wrong and they are no more compatible. So we should learn to develop ourselves. We should learn to develop ourselves. Very, very important. So most times people think that once I'm married, so I should just stay where I am, and then, and for women especially, you start having kids, and then your husband is getting better. And your husband is getting better by the day. And one day he wakes up and then just realizes that
I'm married a village girl.
It just wakes up, and I just feel like, who is that? And you are not fitting in. He cannot introduce you to his class of friends. You can't. When people are talking, you can't talk, because you are stuck. Your mind starts developing, and
that's the word. Stop
developing. You can't process things, and then you begin to say that the devil is in this marriage. The devil is going to bite the devil and chase the devil away.
And it just common sense, so that was not applied.
And if we're looking for that devil, I think something happened to you. It's like my sister said, it's just common sense. Someone told me recently of a very beautiful girl. You need this? Okay, so I don't know. Let me transfer this to you because I think you didn't go here. Just write your number. Alright, so someone told me recently of a lady, a very pretty girl he wants to marry, and he said that the lady's not good. And because he was going after her, trying to stop her, and then eventually got her attention. And they got talking, and he realized that she wasn't good. And he was pulling his back. Excuse me, when I saw the pictures, pretty cool. I wondered, how? It's just what you just said now. So if you're hearing the sound of our voice, you just know that every minute counts. Every minute counts. You don't throw it away. You ask yourself what I've achieved every week, every day, every second. And she's well dressed, really dressed. And I'm wondering, what runs in her mind? There are internet everywhere. There are online school everywhere. Online courses. So I was like, why don't she apply for something and do something online? You don't need to go through the 4 walls of school. You can do this in your house and obtain a certificate. And I was wondering, is it that she just felt like her life is stopped, or she's just interested in the wigs, the fashion, the well-dressed, being dressed, shoes, and not herself? Now, you need to learn that growth is from the inside. Any growth that comes from the inside will last. But any growth that comes from outside will fade away. Now, when you break an egg, you kill a life. When you allow the egg to hatch, a life emerges. So you must learn to allow life to emerge and not to take a life. So I just love how we started self-development. So let's learn to develop ourselves. Okay, I'll read out
the place of emerging and go to the place of evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So evolving comes every now and then with the next development you give yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister the other day, we were on the family chat and she said, "No, Fancy, you will have reacted like this." And I told her, that is me 2020. That's not me 2024. Why? I have evolved. I have moved from that place.
Okay.
So when you come out, you begin to move to the next
level. You discover what you did yesterday, you won't do again.
You won't.
All right, that's good. Okay, so I'll read out Olatunji's message. I don't want to add, I don't want to remove, because Olatunji is listening. I'd have just paraphrased, but because he's listening, I want to read it exactly the way he wrote it. so people don't have a misconception of who we are and what we do. Okay, this is from one of our great listeners, Mr. Olatunji. Good evening, Madam Gift. This is my story. I am an electronic computer engineer. My story is lengthy. So Olatunji is going to be here with us next week, Tuesday. So get prepared. Gather your, it's going to be hurts. So we'll just touch it a little and continue with other people's story. Okay, but I'll summarize it, to look for a man. Okay. My story is that it's lengthy one, but in summary, my partner asked me for permission to look for a man that can take care of her after perfect love for over 22 years, because in the time of trials and of financial trials, basically. Okay, you can have this. So Olatunji is having financial crisis now because I spoke with him, and they've been married for 22 years, over 22 years, and the wife walked up to him asking for permission to date another man. Whoa. So she'd be taken care of. And he said to me, what is surprising is the boldness to walk up to him. And it's not once, it's not twice. And anytime she does that, he's overwhelmed. He does not say anything to her. So before we go because real life issues. So if you're listening to us, you're just joining. This is Tell Your Story with Lemuels, and we're here to tell our story, share our regrets, and we're focusing on regrets today. And my sister here, Madam Fancy, we call her generally, and don't mind that name she called me. I've given her my own name. Ifanseni Ijere. Okay. Yeah. So she has given us her story, how she waited for 6 years, praying and crying and complaining. God, you give me child. God, you refuse. God, that. This person has taken him. God, that. And she has, is it 4 or 5? 4 boys. 4 amazing boys. No girl. After the 6 years. So, and she now said, those 6 years of waiting would have been 6 years of self-development. So the question is, are you developing yourself? And I'm going to tell a story of, I used to work in a bank, and then we had this guy that was, what do you call now? He was in charge of the store. Can't remember the name they call it. The storekeeper. Mm-hmm. He was a storekeeper of that bank, making sure documentations, everything is locked up, safe. And suddenly, after a while, when I left the banking system, I visited and I discovered that he was no longer a storekeeper. Because that time when he was a storekeeper, he was going to school. Wow. But he married, he didn't go to school. He had, I think, school starts. The wife had school starts, and they were just local people in the house, loving themselves. I remember there was an incident that happened that we need to visit the house together, all the staff. And we saw the wife, very, local person. And one day, I noticed this guy had improved seriously. So much improvement. So I visited the bank, and once in a while I usually visit those days, and we gist, and then
because I worked in the bank and I used to visit.
Yeah, we gist of everybody, gist the ones that have gone. So we gist and then I leave. So this Sunday that I came and I noticed that he was rather in the counter.
Wow.
Not a storekeeper anymore. And we got talking. And he said, he's divorced. I said, what happened? He said, because he's noticed that his wife is not his standard anymore. And she refused to go to school. Everything he did to push her to go to school didn't work. So he started keeping side chick of his standard. Now he developed himself. But she did not. And if you ask her, she probably will have her personal excuses, which are not necessarily important. But because these things have to do with determination.
You have to push yourself.
You have to push yourself. You have to be deliberate.
Yeah. Intentional.
So she might be saying, I have kids, I'm not saying children, but there are internet everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so Olatunji's story. The number you can call is you can call us on 081-0018-2488. What do you tell Olatunji that his wife looked to his face and said, permit me to date a man after 22 years of marriage? I think she said they have 5 children, with 5 children in between. What is your take? What can we say to him? Let's start with him.
Wow. I would like to tell Olatunji that he should be courageous and take back his wife. Yeah. Now, it takes a lot of courage to take someone that has rejected you back to yourself, because, of course, this statement alone will have caused separation. in his mind towards her. So it takes a lot of courage to take her back. Now, taking her back means you're going to forgive her for those words that she said.
Okay.
Life is a fight. So even if you move on to the next person, there are fights you will have. Choose your fight, like they always say. 22 years by now, you should be able to know if you are ready to choose the fight with her or move on to the next person. But I will always advise, I've been married for 21 years too. It's better the devil you know than the one you don't know. Because I tell married women, I say, you want to leave him for another man. I'm not saying the other man is not going to be good, but you now know this one. You don't know what the other one is going to bring on the table and what your fights are going to be about. But this one, you can determine how far he can go, in quotes, and what he can do, in quotes. Yeah, because people evolve, people emerge, people move on. So the person you know today might not be the person you will see at the end of the year. So it's a matter of knowing if you want to choose your fight to leave, continue living with her, or to start afresh. The strength, do you have the strength to start afresh? With a new person. I always ask that question when people come with marital issues. Do you have the strength to start afresh? 22 years ago, you were younger to start.
To build a home.
22 years later, with a younger girl that doesn't even know herself, trying to understand who she is, are you ready to start? So it's exactly the choosing fight. What fight is he ready to fight?
Okay. Let's equally try to weigh on that issue.
Yes, I know.
Sometimes, this whole thing, I like I said, we want to help, we want to heal, and I like where you're coming from. What do you think of a woman that could walk up to a husband of 22 years and tell the man, permit me to date a man? He's already dating a man. And it has not happened because we need to be real.
I know.
I don't want us. That's what the program is all about. We don't want to sweep it under the carpet. We don't want to touch
superficial.
We want to solve the issue, a problem. Do you know what it means for a woman to walk up to her husband, 5 children, 22 years old of marriage, and look at him and say to him, permit me to date a guy? Do you know it's more insulting than just dating a guy and hiding it? Anyway, because it's like telling him you are useless. We have to be honest before we treat this thing, because we need to analyze this. So, because telling Olatunji, fight for love. I want to break it down. Now, please, I know.
But you know, we women always fight for love.
Hold on. I'm not saying that.
Yes, we women always fight for love. So I think it's the warrior in me that is speaking, because I will not let you go.
I'm not against what you just said, though.
I know.
Can we look at it in different angles?
If it was Olatunji that told his wife,
permit me,
our culture allows it. He is a man that will say. Now, because it is a woman, there is that gender thing attached to it. That's why I'm saying fight for it. Why let something go that you have lived with for 22 years on a platter of gold? As in, okay, go ahead, do what you want to do. All right. Maybe because of my kind of personality, I won't let, even if I don't want you anymore, I won't let you go. Yes.
Even if you don't want to again. Alright, the number you can call is 0801 0018 2488. Olatunji needs to be talked to, and my guest here, Madam. Okay, 081 0018 2488. Okay, I would like to know your view on Olatunji's case. Married for 22 years with 5 children, and the wife is asking him for permission to move on. Not to move on, to date a guy. meaning that they're going to be living in that house together as she dates the guy.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening. What's your name and where are you coming from?
My name is Mary James. Yeah, it's about what I just had now about the human telling the husband you want to go for a date, like you want to have a boyfriend and something like that. And for me, I mean, anything that involves women, people are going to take it very personal. But at the same time, I don't know what is actually, what you're actually saying is wrong. So, marrying for so many years like that, and making the husband feel so you want to have a boyfriend. It's like a cloud and use of the man seriously. So, hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, we lost her. Is it Lady J? Okay, thank you very much, Lady J, for calling. Yes, like she said, it looks like a slap on the man's face. Okay, so and she said anything that concerns a woman is taking personal.
My name is Daniel. I'm calling for Jos.
Your name is what? Daniel, go ahead from Jos. Hi, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. Go ahead.
This information is so funny. Marrying a woman for 22 years what one goes there and comes to me and tell me that my life has been cancelled now. That woman is having a relationship.
Mr. Daniel, be talking to us. Yes, now we are enjoying your talk. Go ahead.
It's not, she's asking me to do it. And so it's feeling that they want to come and tell me that actually they can be part of her.
And it's not once, it's not twice. The thing is, she didn't say permit me to go. She said I want to date, meaning we stay there and we dating.
I want to date. If it's simple, then I want to date. You just look up and tell me what you have to date. And the thing is stopping her. Just try to reveal to me that she has been doing. That is the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. We love you.
My name is Lloyd. I'm calling from Abuja.
All right, Laurie, go ahead and talk to us. Is it Lawrence?
I don't know. I'm just shocked that. Well, I'm not a married woman. I'm sorry. I'm not a married type for now.
Okay.
But this kind of thing that I'm hearing is kind of making me scared. Even find a wife on my own.
You will marry, and you will marry fine wife, and you will enjoy your family, okay?
How do you get things first into your own husband, face to face? So, somehow, it don't make sense. I don't know what the other girl is going to learn from this.
They will learn that. That's why we need to tell the truth here, so that we don't, suppress the truth. It's actually absurd. I don't support that at all. Okay, so that we don't let people think that you can get away with such things. Don't just come and say you want to date a man in your husband's house. I've never heard of it before in my life.
I just found my video. I just heard this. I didn't need this.
Thank you very much.
First time on this.
Okay, thank you for calling. Okay, we have a message here. Good evening. Like the question, it's funny because what happened to for better for worse, and whatever that makes that woman to take that bold step means she is actually fed up and is a cool off another man while maintaining the marriage. So obviously she wants to loosen out. I draw the curtain here.
Hey.
Oh yeah, my guest also. My guest over to this is from Guarimpa. Koli. Is that the name?
Yeah.
Okay. Koli, thank you for calling in, for sending us a message, Lord. Thank you. Hello, good evening. Good evening, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Monday calling you from home.
Okay, Mr. Monday, go ahead. Abomination, I heard you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, it's an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true story?
It's a true story. The man is calling. It's true story. He's even trying to reach us. I think he's the one calling here. So listen, let's hear him more. It's a true story. He's been trying to reach us, and he will be here next week Tuesday to finish up. Yes. After. No, she said she's taking permission. No, she didn't say she's doing anything. Yes, she said she should be permitted.
African culture or which way?
Maybe her village culture. I don't know. It's very wrong. I agree with you. Thank you. All right. I think Mr. Olatunji is calling us. Let's hear him out. So which one do we pick? This should be Olatunji, so let's pick him. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Is that Olatunji?
Yes, I can hear you. That is Olatunji.
All right. So Olatunji, everybody want to hear you. Can you talk more? Tell us more story. Because people are doubting.
Yeah.
People are doubting if it is true. Go ahead, please.
Honestly, I had a lot of people, talking about it. It's like they didn't know the shoe I'm wearing. So, first, I want to thank God for the privilege given to me. And true story, I was married for 22 good years. That's over 22 years now. And I'm married with a wife. I was the one that, after primary school, I brought her up, one way or the other, learning business and whatever, even hairdressing, knitting, these people doing this sweater, whatever. But to my greatest surprise, after whatever, she left the business, entering other business, that's when she said, those crying of hotel, whatever, Then after everything, I still gave her some money. She started everything goes well because I am an electronics and computer engineering by profession, and I'm a very busy man somehow, but I don't leave my family, to suffer anything, whatever. Then, it's also unfortunate, after many years, and children, things started coming in. Changes, because of maybe she started getting some things, but after then, started getting some things, right? And I myself, I'm not left behind. Then, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, so I have the challenges, in my own place. And let me just be frank, I went and bought some goods, some electronics here and there, and I was good, somehow. So,
sorry about that.
Things started getting somehow. So I tried my best to see me up with them, meet up with families and all such, and then later on, the shop door I have 5 videos, and so I maintain that. So suddenly, things started going. It went. Like my story is less, but let me just bring it somehow. I bought a floor somewhere, case, after for good 8 years, I did a case, and before you know it, checking the family, responsibilities, taking care of this place, taking care of the, whatsoever they do, whatever that I've gone through. So the woman has started thinking, it seems like the burden is too much, for her, this and that. What even baffles me most, I have to say that, that it's even, I've been endured, because I'm a very patient man, an understanding man. That somebody married, even before I married, I think I'm mature and I know what I'm doing. So, started telling me, somebody just came from where he went for business and came down. He got money, and one day, let me just be frank, we were on the bed. She told me that she wanted me to permit her to get another man because she's kind. I told her, you can't. life is not, it's not permanent. Condition is not permanent. You know me, and your family knows me. I'm not like this before. But when things change, you just have to try to understand me. At least for us to at least move on together, it will be always perfect. But when I do perfect love, it's perfect love. It's 2 years. And then when you're perfect, it doesn't mean that maybe we don't have prayer somehow, but anytime God wants to come, I avoid myself. Because I believe that just the best. I avoid myself, just leave. Because it's not, when someone started nagging her, before you would call a crowd, and after everything, she would not know what I know. And it's people passing by don't even know what it's doing, they don't know how to start, don't know what made it fall the quarry, all those things. So I tried, but unfortunately, to ask me if I was embarrassed inside me.
So how many times?
Wow.
How many times?
Tell me this time that they blame me what somebody has been talking to her, and maybe she has made up my mind. I didn't check several times. I don't even talk. I don't bother. Whatever. And then just sorry, I think about the last 3 weeks or so, I had it. I should just somebody told me something like this, but I just think I can't. So getting somebody the respect, they have got the respect as if maybe money is everything in life. But all my doing is that at least the children, they are the most priority. I understand that at least. Because what I'm only trying to avoid is, for the children to scatter all over. I try even when some of the ones that grew, when they started talking to her, I caution them. I make them to understand that, they are she's your mother. No matter, but they understand sometimes, when she started. I know she's your mother, and but after all, we all make mistakes. This is what I always tell the children, so at least for them not to just think otherwise. Maybe for them not to develop, I want to grow up with such habits, all these things. So I try my possible best at least to make sure at least they are intact, they love ourselves, and I don't know. It's just if I should say my story about it, I will write it.
It's alright, thank you.
I get all the story, but I'm still praying over it. And see if God can touch her, fine. But if she wants to finally, well, God be the glory. I will not get anything. He knows me very well. I will not get anything. I will only thank God for this because everything what you give.
Mr. Olatunji, thank you. How many times? Can I ask you a question?
The things I was trying out to confine it, make it, let it just be, meaning. But I need for me to just, but notwithstanding. This is just my story. I don't know if this one is enough for anyone that hears me. Well, maybe some are going through the same thing, or maybe some are just to fell in love. Right, it's good to fell in love. But when you fell in love, and it's just good to know.
And you fall out of love.
You're falling in love. But not with that, I just kind of for myself, for our life. Because after all, even on the last day, we're not going to give account of each other. One we give account of stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Olatunji. I would have loved to ask you a question while you're still on. But maybe when you come live, we're going to ask you some questions because we need to know, apart from money, what else? And how many times?
There are plenty other things.
There are plenty other things. Okay, so thank you very much. I wish we could continue. It's like 1 hour is not enough again. 1 hour is not enough. So, but we are going to, Mr. Olatunji, we can't really deal with this now. But I thank you. I want to really, really congratulate you for pouring out. We love you. We love you. That's the first healing step. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for pouring out. You could hear others trying to talk. That means we are your brothers, we are your sisters. That's why we are reacting, and then we're trying to see how we could help. Okay, and I'm sure this is teaching other people some good lessons. For people like Lord that have not gotten married, don't be scared. All right, thank you very much. I have a book I'd like you to buy. Buy it. It's going to help you. It's going to help your relationship. It's going to help you as a person. Ready, set, marry. Are you ready? Are you set? Are you married before you get married? So don't rush. And for us that rushed in, get the book so you can sort a lot of things before things go bad. So you don't wake up one day after 22, 23, 25 and say, I'm no longer interested. Why? Because probably this other person's foundation was set. One person's one wasn't set. Then there's always a problem. So thank you very much for calling. On the 21st of April, we're going to be having a live event, very serious one, live event. And then we're going to be giving away food stuff to some people. Okay, we're going to tell you how it's going to run. So maybe you follow me on TikTok and then we'll meet out how it's going to run. We're going to send out messages to all our loved, our fan, everybody that has followed us on how we want it to run. So we're going to be giving food stuff because we know a lot of people are hungry. So we're going to be giving food stuff. We already have some NGOs that are equally partnering with us. And we're going to have some very wonderful international NGOs on board that very day. So make it a date with us. And then for the children, we are planning something for the children, but we're going to let you know. So just follow us, and then there's a lot to gain, a lot to gain. Thank you very much, Ma, for coming. My guest, Mrs. Ifanseni Ijere, popularly known as Fancy. And I want to say thank you to all the people that called in, Lady J, Mr. Olatunji, we're going to continue to talk, Mr. Daniel from Jos, Mr. Joseph, Coley, Lord, and Monday. And everyone that tried calling but couldn't get through, please forgive us. For the ones that send messages and we didn't read it, we love you. So make sure you attend our live event. We'll have enough time to have fun and treat issues. Thank you very much, and I want to say big thank you to my producer, my one and only producer, Omarbs. God bless you. See you next week, same time, same station. Goodbye.